Hello, welcome to a quick assembly from myself, Mr. Bennett. Obviously you're looking at me thinking I'm looking a bit strange with this shaved head. I had to make that decision whether to go to barbers, which I couldn't do, or move forward with the bald look, so this is me now. So, welcome. I hope that this assembly finds you safe and your family safe and well. I want to give you a couple of updates and then share a quick message and an anecdote to go with it. So, first of all, updates. You'll have noticed, or your families will have had an email from Mr. War on Friday sharing a little bit more about how we're going to move forward. We're really keen to create some ways to give you some good feedback, to help you out when you're finding things tricky, to help you become unstuck with your work, and just to help you progress really. So we're moving forward with Google Classrooms, and we'll be bringing more information out to you and your families shortly. At the moment, we're rolling that out across our staff and getting it ready for you guys to use and for us to be able to give you some feedback and to have a bit of better communication with yourselves. So I wanted to also thank you for the amazing work that you've been doing already. The year teams have been sending forward to me some of the examples of work that's been sent in to us, and there's some fantastic pieces being created by yourselves, and it's really impressive. It's not the easiest time to be working hard, and we know lots of you are absolutely working your socks off behind the scenes, doing a brilliant job, and we want to thank you for that. And we want to thank your parents and carers for supporting you in doing that. I want to focus on a couple of things today. The main message is the importance of kindness, and I want to talk about how being distant doesn't necessarily mean being disconnected. It's awesome to hear about lots of you being able to be remotely connected with your friends still, from phone calls through social media to maybe even online gaming with them. I want to share with you a quick example of some remote kindness that I've experienced in my life, in my family, and hopefully you'll take something from it and it'll inspire you to maybe be kinder to the people around you, as I know many of you are already doing. Okay, little story. I want to take you to 2017. My lad Noah is age 7 and he's started to build a little rock collection. He's probably got about 20 rocks, all different types. We don't really know a lot about them, though he's becoming really keen and he's learning more about them. And he says to me, I'd like to start a little museum. So we had a little look in our shed, and one corner of the shed we dedicated to the world's smallest rock museum. In a bid to improve the museum, we decided we'd go fossil hunting. So we looked for quarries, places we could find fossils, and we found one in North Wales, Halcyon Quarry, and we decided to go and have a little look around Halcyon Quarry and see if we could find some fossils. Now, completely clueless, you'll all know I'm an RE teacher and I teach sociology. I don't know a lot about geology. Completely clueless. I took him along and we had a look for some fossils. And amongst all of the rocks, we found what I believed to be the most awesome fossil, but it turned out not to be. It was just some lichen on some rocks. Now, we put it online and I said to this group on the internet, the Fossil Forum, this is a rock that we found in this quarry. What do you think of it? Is it a great fossil? And people commented, no, sadly mate, that's not a fossil at all. Sadly, that's just some lichen on a rock. However, there were a few incredibly kind people on there, people who I'd never met, people mainly from America, who'd commented and said, do you want to know what some good fossils are? We'll give you some good examples. Now today, what used to be a tiny shelf full of some rocks and fossils is actually a brilliant little museum. And that's all because of the kindness of some strangers who commented and said, that's not a fossil, this is a fossil. Have a look at this. And they just really wanted to help Noah learn some things about rocks and fossils that they already knew, that his poor dad was letting him down on. And the remote kindness of strangers has meant that we've got an amazing little museum in our shed with rocks and fossils from all over the world. From America through to the Netherlands, and all over the place. And they include all kinds of things that we found ourselves, fossils that have been sent to us. There's some absolutely awesome ones. I think my favourite is this one. This little tiny fossil of the mouth plate of a puffer fish. There's all kinds of brilliant things in here that have just been donated by strangers out of sheer kindness. And that's just one example of the kindness of strangers helping other people out. So that's just one example of some remote kindness. There's been absolutely loads lately. You can't ignore the Captain Moore story where he's raised over £30 million for the NHS by doing his laps of his garden, his lengths of his path. That is absolutely brilliant. And how it's created a circle of kindness with people giving him over 150,000 birthday cards, people he'd not met before. Students from our school creating garments for the NHS. That's brilliant. Things that they need so that they can safely work. We've also got people giving cards and artwork to care homes. That's absolutely lovely and shows some encouragement for people who are facing some really tricky times. It's also important to make sure that we're kind to ourselves in these times, to buy ourselves the time that we need to get some mind space and some thinking. Sometimes in busy households it's difficult to do, but it's really important. So I want to encourage you to reach out to other people. How can you be kind? How can you stay connected? Maybe with some distant family members you've not spoken to for some time, or to some friends that you've not heard from. How can you contact them remotely? So stay safe, look after yourselves and look after your families. Take care, and we can't wait to see you all again when we can possibly do so.